Okay, well, one of the things I think we all know is we are all people that are sitting in this room that are dynamic, we're interested in innovation. So let's just kind of put down our scripts and put down what all of our companies do well and talk about what some things we do that aren't so good. And so when you think of PwC, it's a very large professional services firm, 179,000 people across the globe, and you might say there's really probably nothing innovative about an accounting firm, and you could argue there maybe shouldn't be anything innovative about it, because look at what's happened. But that being said, when we see what our business is, what we have to share, especially in this social space, is again 179,000 employees. So how can we take that sheer number and the scale and the scope, representing over 300 different countries, and really make a difference, especially around social investment, and really make a difference around social change? And so for us, why we're doing this, it's about engagement. Why I'm here, and I oversee corporate responsibility globally for the firm, and that means everything from how we do our supply chain to how we recruit our people and diversity and what that looks like, and how do we embed social skills to our foundation, to volunteering, to the environment. So it's all of it. And my thought is if I can find a way to make those 179,000 people get engaged, my job and the job of my team is going to be far easier, and it's going to actually be something that's sustainable and baked into our business model, and it's going to be here to stay. And that's going to be how we drive our share value and what we can do. So for me, I'm here to learn from everyone that's going to talk and everyone that's going to be on stage, and the networking here and after we leave here, because it's not going to take just one company to fix this. It's going to be about us networking together. So just to level set us for a minute about where we are, when you look at social innovation, it has evolved. I mean, when you look even over the last 5 years, this really started around products and microcredit, and now we're talking about process. We're talking about open source. We're talking about crowdsourcing. We've changed our minds to think, there might be people out there that just do this, right? People who are just social innovators. And what we've come to realize, it's not that. It's all of us that are out there. I mean, who's going to be the next Charles Best or Andrew Yang? And what does that look like? How do we turn, and what somebody said this morning at one of the table breakouts, how do you turn interest into something that's engagement? And for me, that's huge. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of background on what PwC does because we have a great website and it's out there. But it's important to know that when I think about that, one of the projects that we do is Project Make Account every year, where we say we will give you seed money to go do a project. Figure out what it's going to be. We have thousands of people in the US who focus on that, who decide that they want to be a part of it. When we actually say you have to write a business case, the 1,000 go to hundreds. And when we say it's going to take you about a month and a half to do of your time, that dwindles down significantly more. Of the 25 that we fund, we only have about one that creates something that's really scalable and something that we could replicate. But that one each year truly means something. And it's how do we find a way to take people who are interested, which started at thousands, and find how we can get people who are truly engaged who will hang in there. And I think that's what we're looking right now within our organizations and foundations about how can we drive that. We also know that, frankly, innovation is scary. Again, look at the industry that I'm in. You're talking about a regulatory environment that's very risk averse. And so whether you're dealing with financial services or education or healthcare or utilities, doing things that are innovative tend to also come with some risk. And so we need to figure out how do we make a calculated risk, and how does that make you excited to do even more that's there. We also have to look at how do we define success. Because I think over the years, and certainly as a CSR professional, the one thing everyone wants to know is how do you measure that? What's your return on investment? And it's something that I know we're going to struggle with from years to come. But we like to count things. We're accountants. We count a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of students that are touched. But that's not what it's about anymore. It's about what's the impact and what are the programs and what are the activities that are out there that you can actually replicate and that you can actually bring to scale. So not that they've worked really well in a vacuum, but they've worked in a way that translates outside of the city of Chicago to 50 different states and outside of this country. And what does that look like? And frankly, if something can't be replicated and can't be taken to scale, saying, we're not going to pursue that. So that's kind of the environment that we're in. So today and this afternoon, we're going to go through a journey. And it's going to be a quick journey. We're talking about, and I think everyone in this room can appreciate, we don't like to sit in front of our presentations, one after the other after the other. So you have the exact opposite. You're going to have a series of presentations that are about 25 minutes in length. You're going to have a moderator, and what we're really trying to do is get people and get the folks who are sitting up here outside of their comfort zone. It's not talking about what works, it's talking about the barriers that they've overcome and what that looks like. 3 questions we really hope to answer. What is the next step for social innovation? What does that look like? Is it all about rebranding what we've already done, or is there something out there that we haven't figured out what it is? The second is, what can businesses do and how can they do more, and what is their entry point? You know, we have Microsoft, we have Samsung, Chevron, PwC, a lot of companies that are here, and I got to tell you, they're saying, what can we do? And we don't know what to do. We got money, we have resources, we have the ability to do it, but we need direction, and we need to figure out how to become a part of that in a meaningful way. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is, what does it mean to work top down and bottom up? So what does it look like to realize the global implications and what's happening in a truly international world? What does it look like from national implications? We're going to hear from the White House Office of Social Innovation, their leader, and what does it mean from those? And then what does it mean from the social entrepreneur? What does it mean from somebody who's creating something from scratch and driving it up the chain? How can we find a way for top down and bottom up to meet, to really be something that fundamentally can change and can increase the number of people that we engage and that we can really help and find their needs? So this is going to be, hopefully, a very dynamic afternoon, one that we're not going to have a lot of time for questions. As you can tell, we're going to go one-to-one-to-one. In your guides, it talks about different ways that you can follow this, and you can submit questions in different ways. So I would say jot them down. That's a great way for you to be able to network at the break and then afterwards. But we really think that this is going to be an exciting day, and one that you should really look at how you transform your ideas to really create outcomes and solutions that are really game-changing. Really start thinking out of the box and pressure the people who are sitting next to you and really start getting down beneath the, this is just what we've done to here, to what are we really going to do tomorrow.